While making this video, I had no clue how to start it out. I mean, how can you introduce a video talking about a video game juggernaut's future? Nintendo is so influential in so many parts of this culture that it's just impossible to see a future without this company. So, that begs the question, what is Nintendo's future? Nintendo's future will hopefully be amazing. The thing about Nintendo as a company is that it's hard to predict what's next for them, since they can't seem to make their minds up on things. They went from making this huge successful console, the SNES, to underestimating their competition and losing to the PlayStation 1. But the two things that stand out about Nintendo are they take massive risk and they don't like to compete. Looking into these two subject areas can allow us to understand the company and help predict their future. Let's talk about them taking risk first. Nintendo are not afraid to take risk. In fact, they have taken so many massive risks that I'm surprised that they are still here as a company. Some of their risks have been super beneficial while others have almost made them go bankrupt. But that's Nintendo as a company, that's their motto. For example, they went from a traditional console, the Nintendo GameCube, to an innovative and unique console like the Wii with Wii motion controls that brought motion controls into the main game. However, when Nintendo revealed the Wii U at E3 2011, people were super confused because they thought it was a new controller for the Wii instead of an entirely new console. However, with risk means new innovations. This allows for Nintendo to be the most innovative of the big three, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo themselves. They've changed the gaming landscapes from the earliest of times by designing a practical D-pad to put in motion controls in the mainframe. They've always just put so much innovation into everything that they have produced. The second important thing to know about Nintendo is that they don't compete. They just don't compete. I know it sounds super weird because of course they should compete, but they just don't. Let me explain. Nintendo as a company hasn't really competed with other video game competitors since around the GameCube era. They saw that they weren't doing so well with the GameCube, so they thought, let's do something unique. They purposely did something different from the competitors so that they didn't have to compete with them. And this has been a very positive factor for them. The Nintendo Switch is selling extremely well because it's so different from the Xbox One and PS4, and it's for so many different people. Some want a handheld so they can play on the go, while others just want to keep it docked for couch play. Nintendo this generation has also been building better relationships with their competitors such as Microsoft, which allowed for Banjo-Kazooie, a rare-owned IP which Microsoft owns, to be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Which begs the question, what is Nintendo's future? Well, I think that there will be many factors determining Nintendo's future and their success, which I'll dive into right now. First, the console. What's Nintendo without any hardware? I think that Nintendo will stick with the Switch concept. In fact, I think that it will be called the Switch 2. My prediction is that it will come out in December of 2023, right in time for the holiday season. This could allow for more copies sold and put it in high demand for Christmas. However, Nintendo would still be selling the present family of Switches for at least 3 to 4 years after this release at a reduced price at a budget version for people that still want to experience the Switch without breaking out the cash. The Switch 2 would also have cross-compatibility with past generation Switch games and will use the same cartridge that would now have a 64GB capacity instead of 32. It would also include a high-quality microphone for online game chat. The Switch 2 would also have a new and improved CPU and GPU that would allow for it to be almost as powerful as the PS4 Slim and Xbox One S. This will allow most players to play at 60 FPS rather than 30. The base model would be the same exact size as the current Switch, but it would also come in a light variant and a Pro variant version that had a bit more power but slightly larger size and would feature an 8-inch screen. The screen would also have smaller bezels. Speaking of the screen, it would be 1080p and would have variants of LCD and OLED similar to the PS Vita. The Switch 2 would also have a larger battery that could offer 10 hours of gaming in the Pro, 8 in the normal version, and 7 on the Lite. While editing this video, I can't believe I forgot this. I forgot to talk about controllers. The new Switch 2 would have cross-compatibility with all Switch Joy-Cons, although Nintendo would have a new version that fixed Joy-Con drift. They would also be slightly larger but would still fit on past generation Switches, so they're both cross-compatible with the new Switch, and the new Switch Joy-Cons are cross-compatible with the old Switch. Simple enough? Yeah. Now let's talk about the dock. The dock would look similar enough to the current dock, but it would be different looking enough to distinguish the two from each other. It would also upscale the picture to 1440p rather than 1080p. The dock would also work with every single Switch, including the Lite, so it wouldn't be limited to only the Switch and the Switch Pro. Now the software, the most important part of a video game console's success. If the hardware doesn't have any good games, why would anyone buy it? The system-selling game that would be a launch title will most likely be a new 3D Mario game. This game could demonstrate the power and graphical beauty that the Switch 2 is able to produce, and will also sell extremely well because it's Mario, who is the most popular video game character of all time. We would also get a new Mario Kart game since Nintendo will most likely not have a new one out for the current Switch since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is selling so well. We will also have confirmation for Breath of the Wild 3, even though it wouldn't be coming out till December of 2024. We will also have confirmation of a new Pikmin game that would come out in the summer of 2024. A new IP game would also come out later this year, although I have no clue what it would be. And with all of that, we haven't even touched third-party games yet. The third-party support on the Switch 2 will most likely be extremely good since the hardware will be more powerful, allowing for closer ports that align more with the PlayStation and Xbox games. Third-party developers will also support it, seeing how well previous generations of Switches sold. Nintendo will also never touch mobile games again. I know I went over some of this information a bit earlier in this video, but I'll just go over it again. It'll be released in December of 2023, so it will be very popular for Christmas of that year. The retail price for the base Switch would be $300, with the Switch Lite coming in at $200 and the Switch Pro coming in at $350. Nintendo would also stick with their similar marketing they have done with the current Switch that is marketed to more of a teenage audience compared to the terrible Wii U ads.
Wii U, we can play Super Mario 3D World.
Find secrets with the Wii U gamepad.
And did we mention togetherness?
Just check out the simulation.
Nintendo will also continue to hold Nintendo Directs and indie showcases to show new games for the console. Nintendo will offer two services for the Switch: Switch Online and Switch Game Pass. Let's talk about Switch Online first. This service will cost $39.99 for 1 year and will offer online play on all the games that's supported on the Switch. It would also include a game chat that you could use to message your friends and use voice chat with the built-in microphone or microphone of your choice. Now Switch Game Pass. Switch Game Pass would be a monthly subscription of $10 or a year subscription of $60. This service would allow you to play certain games from the NES, SNES, N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and DS. DS's library, similar to how Xbox Game Pass works. However, a cool function would be that any of the games that support local multiplayer would now work online with other Switch players that are playing the same game at the same time. That puts a wrap on today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, I would appreciate a like and subscribe, and I would love to hear what you guys think Nintendo's future will hold. We're almost at 15 subscribers, so it would be amazing if we could reach 15 by the end of the month. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. Peace out and bye.